She fell into her brother's arms and immediately started sobbing as the door closed behind Merlin.
What the fuck happened?
I woke up and he was naked in my bed. Are you kidding me? He was pulling away to go after him, but she clung tight. Fred, he said he was confident if he seduced me, I'd remember how much he loved me.
Yeah, he loved you so much he fucked your sister.
He hissed furiously, his eyes trained on the door, torn between chasing down his brother-in-law and holding his sister's weeping frame. He told me all of it. All the details I never wanted to know. He tugged her to the sofa and hugged her tight in his arms, rocking her gently. He said the first time was at Mom's party and he got ice cream on his pants and Sandy offered to help and next thing he knew she was blowing him. When he tried to walk away, she threatened to come down to the party and tell everyone about the freckle on his dick and say they were lovers if he didn't finish what they started. Oh God, he groaned. Why is she so fucking evil? I don't know, but he didn't have to put his dick in her mouth. No, he didn't. Fred agreed, rubbing her shoulders. How did he get in here? McGrath Industries owns the rental company I rented from. I didn't know. I had no idea. I was looking at rental units online and filled an application to come check this one out. My name got flagged. He grabbed a master key and crawled into my bed. She started sobbing again. Why is he doing this? Why can't they leave me alone? I don't know, Fred whispered. As the sound of a key in the lock caught their ears, Fred yelled,
I swear, Merlin, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I'll beat you into the ground.
Isaiah's head poked into the door and stared at them in confusion.
What?
His eyes focused on Liesel. What is going on? Why are you crying? He tore into the room, tossing his keys onto a table and pulled her out of Fred's arms, into his and sitting on an oversized chair with her on his lap. Liesel, what happened? Sweetheart, talk to me? Merlin happened, Fred offered angrily. Turns out McGrath owns this building and he found out she was renting here. He got a master key and planned a giant seduction. Got into her bed naked while she slept. What? Isaiah's fury caused his hands to clench around Liesel's shoulders as he hugged her to his chest.
I'll fucking kill him.
He gripped her chin. Did he touch you? No, not really. I woke up when he was kissing my shoulders and my nightdress was pushed down my back a bit, but my front was covered. She couldn't meet his gaze. Merlin's words were mocking her. Isaias was only a fling.
He had no right.
He hugged her tight. I'm so sorry he violated your space like this. She sniffed into his collar. What are you doing here? I couldn't sleep and kept thinking you left me a key, so I should use it and come cuddle. He pressed a kiss to her temple. I should have come here the minute I got home instead of trying to wait. I would have loved for McGrath to encounter me in the bed instead of you. He'd have been kissing my fist instead of your shoulders. Fred grunted angrily. He was a cocky prick walking out of here. Smug like he thought she was going to chase after him. Liesel grimaced, as if. Had the nerve to tell me if I took him back, he'd consider my fling with Isaias as even with him sleeping with my sister.
Excuse me?
Isaias arched an eyebrow. Yes. Told me when you ended it with me, he'd be happy to pick up the pieces. I reminded him when he himself left me shattered on the floor, he didn't bother to stop and pick up the pieces then. He's the last person I'll turn to. Her words tumbled out of her mouth, a mixture of confusion, anger, and sadness. I wish they would all leave me alone. Him, Sandy, Tori, Mom. They all won't stop. I can't believe he snuck into my bed. Fred sighed loudly. I wish I can.
EW.
Baby girl. He groaned and leaned back into the sofa with his eyes closed. You gave first and last month's rent for here and the damage deposit? And signed a 1-year lease, she whispered. How did you not know he owns the building? Isaias questioned quietly. I barely understood what he did as a developer, let alone how many companies he has under the umbrella of McGrath Industries. She met his gaze and then tilted her head. Do you think I purposefully went out of my way to rent from him? No, he denied it outright. I do not. I know how angry you are with him, and I know you wouldn't put yourself in his path willingly. I'm simply trying to piece together how the company got missed. The name of the rental company is Trinity. I've never heard the name before. Trinity is the name of a local rental agency they have as a subsidiary. Isaias shifted her on his lap, so they were both leaning backwards into the cushions of the chair. Why don't you go pack a bag and I'll bring you home with me? What? Why? He's gone and he gave me the key he used. Because he owns the entire building, which means he'll be able to come and go and spy on you. If he wants to take a unit next door and stalk you from there, he can. But he won't. He has a condo he's renting with Sandy. Isaias shot her an irritated glance. Do you want him to come back? No, she returned his annoyed stare, but I don't think he will. Did you think he would have ever crawled into your bed naked in the middle of the night in an apartment he shouldn't have had an inkling you were renting? At her silence he continued, Liesel, I told you he and his father got me out of town to get you alone. He probably thinks I'm still out of town. He did say you were out of town. She whispered. They're watching your every move and looking to find a way to make you take him back. I get Merlin, but not Trent. Why does Trent want you to take Merlin back so much? He hates Sandy with a burning passion, Fred tossed up, and he has been eyeballing Liesel since the day Merlin brought her home to meet the parents. He once had too much to drink and tried to kiss her under the mistletoe when nobody else was around. Creepy bastard. I always said he was secretly in love with her. He wanted her for himself. I think he gets off knowing if he can't have her, his son can. Ew, she shot her brother a disgusted glare. You're nasty. And not wrong. He mocked. He looked around the apartment. Merlin might have snuck a key and climbed into your bed, but Trent probably installed cameras in here. He probably has one right over your shower. Isaias snarled. Go pack a bag now. You're not staying here. Isaias, he's kidding. Yet it's probably very much on the money. I don't trust them. She kicked Fred as she stood up from Isaias' lap. I like it here. I like the light in the spare room. I have my easel set up. I'll set you up in my sunroom at the house. You can paint there until you find another place. You're being absurd. He snuck into your apartment in the dead of night and crawled into your bed naked, and of the two of them, he's the harmless one. Trent is a snake. I wouldn't put it past him to do exactly as Fred said. Get a bag packed. She stomped off furious at his high-handed way he came in and took over the situation. It's not fair. Life rarely is. Isaias shot back. Liesel entered her bedroom and paused as she looked at the bed and saw a red rose on her pillow. Her anger at Isaias fell away as she considered how out of bounds Merlin had behaved. Maybe he was right. Perhaps this place wasn't safe. She beelined for her walk-in closet and pulled a bag down and began stuffing it, realizing she had only this day hung the same clothes back up. What a waste. Returning to the kitchen, she found Isaias, with his arms folded over his chest, leaning against the counter, his phone in his hand, and he was texting furiously. Where's Fred? I told him to go home and go back to bed. I got it from here. My security team is downstairs to take us to my place. I could have gone back to Fred's, or I can go to Elsie's or Janka's. Is there something about my place you don't like? No, she turned her nose up at him. I love your house, but it's yours. I don't want to impose. It's not an imposition. I want you there. He reached out, taking her bag from her fingertips. When she started towards the door, he grabbed her and yanked her close to him. What are you doing? I thought we were leaving. Come here, he tugged her until she was standing between his thighs. I haven't seen you in almost 5 days. You're not going to kiss me, hello? She rested her palms against his chest and plucked at the buttons. A kiss would be nice. Yeah. His lip lifted in the corner in a partial smile as he lowered his mouth to hers. The sigh escaping her lips made was whisper soft as his plush lips swept across hers. Her mouth parted and pliant allowed his searching tongue access as he kissed her hungrily. Her hand slid up his chest to find the back of his neck as she held his head tight to hers, her own tongue eagerly slipping to tangle with his and taste what she'd been missing for days. She was breathless when he broke the kiss and their lips were still almost touching, their breath intermixed between them. We should go before I have you on the kitchen counter and Trent uses video footage to blackmail us.
Very funny.
She grimaced as she pulled away from him. He waited for her to lock up the apartment before making his way to the elevator at the end of the hall, holding her hand tightly in his. Can we agree on you staying with me until we get this mess with them sorted out? I still do not understand what Trent's endgame was. There was no way he could have known you'd take an apartment over the weekend, so despite Fred's comment on the video, while I don't doubt he did something in your apartment, it's not why he tried to get me out of the city. When they were in the back seat of the Escalade, she had a thought. Do you think knowing how much chaos a video caused last weekend, he might have been trying to get you in a compromising situation with the actress? It's a good guess and one I considered, but she wanted to go back to my hotel room, not hers. My hotel room was clean of all recording devices. My team was thorough. Do you think he got into your house here? The only person who was in and out of my house since I left on Saturday morning was a gorgeous brunette who late this afternoon walked in, put a key and a racy note on my counter, and walked back out. He hugged her as she shot him a startled glance. Since I was out of town, I had full security on the entire place. It was watched constantly with live feeds direct to my security team. The entire house is airtight. You said I could go in anytime. And I meant it. My security guy watched you drive right up the driveway. She shook her head in disbelief. I didn't even notice them. They noticed you, he winked. She rested her head on his shoulder. Thank you for coming tonight. Even if it did turn into a clusterfuck, I'm glad you decided to come cuddle with me. I missed you, Liesel. He lifted her fingers and kissed them. You're important to me, and when we're apart, I can't stop thinking of you. Call it what you will, exclusive, dating, committed, any of it, all of it, it's what we are. I like the sound of this. She closed her eyes as exhaustion started to hit her. I can't believe I'm out in the middle of the night in my nightgown and robe. I can't believe the asshat tried to get into your bed. He didn't try, Isaias, he got in it. She grimaced. I hadn't slept well the last couple of nights because I was stressed about how you'd react once I told you I checked your online activities. Talking to you put my mind at ease and I crashed hard. She blushed, I was dreaming of you. I was somewhere between awake and dreaming and I was being woken up. I could feel the straps of my nightgown sliding down and him kissing my back and I thought, in my half-awake mind, it was you. She watched his eyes close as color tinted his cheeks. He was furious. I smelled his cologne and then felt his hand on my hip, and I knew it wasn't you. I bolted so fast out of the bed. He was naked, Isaias. He was naked and telling me to go back to bed with him. He kept saying if we made love, I'd remember how good it was. She wiped a tear off her cheek as she considered Merle's earlier words. He kept going on about how he knew you and I fucked, but there was no emotional connection or some bullshit. He said he would let me have my fun, but when it was over, he'd be there waiting.
What a dick!
Isaias clenched his fist on his lap, bunching his pant leg up. I want to beat him into next Sunday. He wouldn't get dressed. He followed me into the kitchen completely naked. I kept telling him to put his damn clothes on and get out, but he wanted to talk, and he wanted to do it nude. I now have an unbelievably detailed memory of the tiles on my floor from avoiding looking at him while he went on and on about how he got blackmailed by my sister to fuck her. Are you okay? He asked quietly, wrapping his arm around her shoulder and holding her close. I know you've seen him naked 1,000 times, but this was assault, Liesel. What he did was assault. Coming into your bed uninvited, naked, and touching your body was assault. I'm fine. I'm angry more than anything. They made their bed, so why can't they leave me out of it? She scoffed, though think I know why Sandy is up my ass. Why is that? He said he hasn't had sex with her since Turks and Caicos. Really? Do you believe him? I don't know. I find it hard to believe anything he says, but if it's the truth, then it explains why she resents me now. She didn't get what she was wanting. She rubbed her eyes sleepily. She texted me this morning when I had the movers and Fred helping me set up my new apartment to tell me she was angry with me because her baby's nursery is going to be in a condo and not the house of her dreams, and I robbed my nephew of a wonderful childhood.
You know, she's crazy, right?
Yup. Not sure what happened in her head in utero, but she came out of mom's womb wacko. He chuckled at her words. Were you ever close with her? Yes. I adored her as a baby. I was 2 when she was born, and she was my dolly. I was infatuated with her. My mother has videos of me sleeping on the rug beside her bed because I wanted to be right with her. What happened? By the time she was walking and talking, she was also slapping, punching, and kicking. She took everything which was mine. If I built a sandcastle in our sandpit, she would stomp on it. She would dump my paints out. She broke my toys. We started fighting when she started walking. She was a bully from the minute she walked. Dad used to put her in timeout and she would scream until she blacked out in pure rage. They took her to pediatricians who simply said she was strong-willed. Well, if she finds out Merlin crawled into your bed naked, she's going to be livid, Isaias said bluntly. She might even kill him. He made wide suggestive eyes. She chuckled. No, but she has threatened more than once to terminate her pregnancy, so I don't know if I want to tell her. As the car pulled to his gate, he squeezed her hand. Home sweet home! They entered the house quietly, holding hands. Isaias yawned loudly and groaned. Sweetheart, let's go to bed. I'm beat. Sounds good to me. She walked with him up the stairs to his bedroom and then flung herself onto the mattress and stretched her arms outward. He tossed her overnight bag onto the floor at the foot of the bed, and she heard her phone buzzing from within. Who the hell is messaging me now? Not sure, but whoever it is can wait until morning. At her frown, he laughed and dug the phone out, or it will bother you all night to not know. He looked at the display. Sandy wants to know where you are because Merlin is not home. Take a selfie and send it to her. He was snickering as he did what she said. He read aloud as he typed, It's not his dick in your sister. He took a selfie holding up his middle finger and sent it before tossing her phone onto the nightstand. Speaking of putting dicks in her sister. He reached for her and pulled her closer. I missed you. Come here. She giggled as untied the robe she was still wearing and shoved it down her shoulders, pushing the spaghetti straps of the wine-colored satin night dress she was wearing. Oh, this is pretty. His eyes darkened as they raked over her body, staring hungrily at how the material barely hung over the curves of her breasts. You wore this to bed all alone? TSK, he clicked his tongue at her. I wasn't sure what time you would be back, and I was prepared in case you stopped by. She let the straps fall down past her hands as she shimmied out of the material, her breasts swaying with the movement. She noted how his tongue moved to moisten his lips at the exposure of her nipples. This man was very fascinated by her breasts, and she had no problem with it at all.